So exciting news for the upcoming academic year for the spring is that we do have the ability now to record these. So what's going to transpire is we'll record these sessions. I am then going to post it onto our Student Success on Demand workshop. And then we hope to also put the link back into the Google Calendar with the presentation as well. So you have that companion piece if you wanted to print it out and follow along as you either visually look at it or just listen to the recording of our wonderful voices. So without further ado, welcome. We are in our academic success first workshop of the semester. This is all about setting yourself up for success to begin your time here at the institution. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tom. I'm manager of academic support and actually success and support. But yeah, so oversee the Learning Center again, where we provide lots of wonderful academic support for you throughout your career here at the institution. With me today is.
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Mary Kate Moskal. I am a TRIO advisor here at Oakton. I work at the Des Plaines campus. And I'll be sharing a little bit more about TRIO right now. So if you're not familiar with TRIO, I'd be happy to talk to you after this presentation and share more. But TRIO is an organization here at Oakton that supports students that might be first generation college students, students that are income eligible and or have a disability. So those are some of the eligibility requirements. It's really easy to fill out an application for TRIO. It's listed on our website. We also have paper copies here at our office at Des Plaines and also at Skokie. If that doesn't work for you, you can certainly email trio@oakton.edu and we'd be happy to send you an application as well. If you're wondering what kind of services TRIO provides, we do a lot of great things in conjunction with our campus partners here at Oakton. So we support you with academic advising, transfer assistance, opportunities to build community here at Oakton and also with other scholars and students across the nation. We have unique scholarships and grant opportunities as well that students can apply for. Typically, our calendar or events includes college visits. This semester, we're going to UIC and Northern Illinois University, NIU. So if you're interested in that, please join us. We also have some overnight experiential learning trips, conferences, as well as financial literacy and academic workshops, just like we are here today. So if you have questions about TRIO, please stick around and I'd be happy to answer those for you.
Awesome. So today we want to run through really 6 specific things with you. First and foremost is we want to do a brief little welcome. We want to know a little bit more about you. 2, we want to talk about the technologies that you are going to need for your course or courses this semester and how that plays a role in your success. Thirdly, we're going to talk about different instruction types, about what you can expect depending on where you are in relation to the classes that you're in. Fourth, we want to talk about behaviors. So it's one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to actualize good practices that you can put in place in order to impact your student success. Fifth, we're going to talk about some resources. You know, the campus is not just the TRIO office, it's not just the Learning Center. There is a network of folks in and around our space that are going to be able to help you succeed during your tenure here. And we're going to highlight just a few of those that make probably the most sense for you at this moment. And then last but not least, we're going to leave open Q&A for questions for anybody in the audience. In addition to that, if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, at the end of the presentation, you'll have my contact information as well as Mary Kate, and we'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions electronically via email. So next slide.
All right, so we'd love to hear from you all. If you're comfortable sharing in the chat or if you would like to unmute and share your name, pronouns if you're interested in that, and your area of interest. So are you interested in health careers, engineering? What's kind of your overall area of interest, and what's your goal for the semester? What is something you're working towards? We'll talk about SMART goals and some other ways to look at goals, but we'd love to hear from you. So if anyone is ready to unmute and share, feel free. You're also welcome to type in the chat.
Good afternoon. I'll go. Um, Name is Robert McCray. Area of interest started off with human resources, but now it's leaning toward all kinds of different things, maybe even psychology. And the goal for this semester is to not do like I did last semester and spend every Saturday and Sunday of the last 2 weeks at the Oakton campus trying to finish up papers.
That's awesome.
Right, that's those are noble goals, Robert. Anybody else who would like to share?
Thank you.
I'm Jerry. I'm pursuing in computer information systems, and my goal is just to be successful.
Okay, fair enough.
Thanks, Jerry.
My name is Sean Brusik, and my area of interest is engineering. And my goal for this semester is to pass Calc 2. I've heard that's like the hardest of the sequence, so I guess that would be my goal this semester.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Sean.
Mary Kate, do you have any goals for this semester?
Do. I have some technology goals, just like Tom over here. So Danielle's already been a big help, but I'm actually working on making our D2L site more robust and user-friendly for students. I'd like to add some videos, have just more content of all the fun stuff Trio does for students, but also the academic and financial aid support as well. So working on building out that shell a little bit more is definitely a goal of mine this semester.
Sweet, sweet. And when Mary Kate was alluding to right before we started, again, I preface this by we're going to record these, put these on our YouTube channel. One of my goals is to learn how to do those thumbnails so we can break these up into chapters. As an example, there's 6 different kind of chapters, if you will, within this presentation. So I at least have 6 different thumbnails. So it's easy for students to speed ahead or go back to something and really find their place. So that's something I'm going to work on.
Great, and if anyone else wants to share, you're welcome to put that in the chat. Thank you all who chose to speak up. We appreciate it. All right, moving on to technologies. I'm going to pass this one over to Tom.
All right, so the biggest thing that we talk about here at the institution is connections. You know, whether that's a physical connection, meeting somebody in person, giving them a handshake, high five, fist bump, elbow bump, whatever the case may be. Digitally, we want to talk about those connections right now. So realistically, there's 4 different ways where you're going to be in constant contact with folks in your class and in and around the institution. First and foremost is what we refer to as desire to learn, or D2L. That is what the institution refers to as our learning management system, better known as LMS. Within D2L, you'll find a specific little tile for each and every one of the classes that you're enrolled in this semester. Within that tile for your specific class, you'll find information such as the syllabus, potentially readings, class lists, discussion boards, a whole plethora of different tools that are going to help you understand your peers, your faculty member, and the content for each and every specific class that you have. That's one way we're going to be able to stay in connection with others. In addition to that, email. In a few moments, we'll show you exactly how to see your Oakton email when we log into My Oakton. But that's another great tool that you have at your resource. When you log in using your Oakton credentials, you'll see an address book with everybody here at the institution's name. You just start typing in Tom Hicks, you'll easily find my information. It's another great way. Right now, even though the presentation says Google Meet, that's one of, we just use that as an idea of video conferencing, but What we're doing right now at this very moment is connecting live synchronously via Zoom. That's another opportunity where you're going to connect. There are going to be some cases, depending on the course that you're in, where you may need to do a group project. And you live in Evanston, your peer lives in Morton Grove, another person lives in Des Plaines, and a fourth lives in Glenview. The easiest way to connect and break down those geographic barriers is going to be a video conferencing tool, such as Google Meet, Zoom. You may even see something that's called Big Blue Button, who knows? But again, that's another way where you're going to connect with one another. And then last but not least, one of our favorite apps, which is kind of diagonal to its partner or parent, is the Pulse app. So if you do have a smartphone, Android or iPhone, you can download the Pulse app. And at that point, once you log in with your Open credentials, if there are news, announcements, stuff going on in your D2L shell, it'll get populated within that app in a mobile-friendly way, so you can see when those announcements are. Sean, I think you mentioned that you're an engineering program. Last year we brought on somebody to talk about their experience working with NASA. That may be of interest to you. I know for a fact we put those announcements into our D2L shell for our STEM scholars, and all of them instantaneously got that information. Your faculty members are going to be doing the same for you in some cases. So again, having that Pulse app at your fingertips so you stay abreast of all the different activities and deadlines that are coming up are a great way for you to stay on top of things and succeed. So we don't have to wait till the last week or two of the semester to do everything. We can sort of map it out.
All right, so a few other things as we think about technology for success. A personal computer, right? So this is going to be something that you can use to do homework, to connect with your classmates, maybe to connect to class if you're taking online classes. Recommended some type of laptop, a desktop computer, a tablet, maybe with a keyboard. Something other than your phone is ideal. We'll talk about in a little bit that there are ways to rent laptops and other technology devices from Oakton. So if you don't have access to that, we'll make sure that you know the steps to request a laptop and other devices. Operating system, so things like Windows, Chrome, OS, all of that, just so you can access, right, internet and other content is going to be important. If you need help downloading these to your device, let us know. We're happy to help. Internet at your home or location. There's DSL, there's fiber. I believe we might also have some hotspots and other things that we can help provide through Oakton. So if internet's ever a concern, please reach out to myself, to Tom, to other Oakton staff and faculty, and we're happy to connect you to make sure that you have everything that you need to be successful. The other thing sometimes folks don't always think about is a web camera and microphone. So just like we are communicating now live in real time, having a webcam, maybe it's on your device or it's added on top, that's going to be really helpful, as well as a microphone. So if you need to do a recording, if you need to be able to speak up in class, or maybe do a Zoom meeting with other classmates for a project, you're able to communicate effectively. Again, these things we can support you with through our technology department and just make sure that you have what you need and get that rental set. We're going to jump to the digital backpack located in my Oakton to kind of show you some of these resources and where to find them. So I'm actually going to pass it off to Tom to share. And we'll kind of walk you through the steps to get to these resources.
Awesome. So right now you should be seeing my Oakton. Now this is what currently your student view looks like. I don't want to scare anybody. This is actually going to change in the next couple of months. But anyway, for right now,
Or right this second, day by day.
This is what your homepage looks like. So what we want you to focus on is to go into academic assistance, pull down to the digital backpack. And I really just wanted to highlight a couple of things that I think are important for you as a student to be connected even greater to this campus. First and foremost, Mary Kate was talking about having a personal computer and potentially internet. So real quick, the second link you see is students equipment request form. Did that switch over?
Yeah.
Awesome. So again, you'll indicate the term. So in this case, we want spring 2024. What do you need? A Chromebook, hotspot, your information, submit that request. It's a first come, first served basis, right? I don't want to give you the impression that we have unlimited resources and that everybody here enrolled in classes is going to get them, but there are a lot. So please take advantage of that and fill out that request form. One thing I absolutely want to like stop, bold, put a big like question mark sign around that is especially if you are in a computer science class or something that is using very specific software, sometimes a Chromebook is not the best tool to use. It's kind of like using a rubber mallet when you might need actually a hammer in that particular case to get that nail into the 2x4 or so. So please be really specific if you are working in a class that does have software that is germane to your class, to ask your professor what is best for me to use. I'll give you a perfect example. We were working with a student last semester, and it took them about 7 weeks into the semester to realize that the Chromebook was missing stuff, and they couldn't submit all of their assignments that they needed for the class. So they really needed a personal computer or a PC. So again, something to think about. In addition to that, you all at this moment have access to Google Docs, Sheets, Calendar, Drive. Some of you, you may have seen that I added you to a Google Calendar invite to these sessions. If not, I'll show you in a minute how to actually get to that and add those to your calendar, but that's there for you as well. Another thing that is really important for you to realize is some of your classes are going to expect you to only use Microsoft Office products. Perhaps you're in a computer applications for business course. Well, you need to know Access. You need to know Excel. Don't go out and buy that information. You have access because of your association with the institution and that you're enrolled in classes. You can use Microsoft Office 365 online. So you can use that anywhere on any device, or if you wanted to, you could actually download that specifically onto the device that you are using. So that's something to keep in mind. Again, video conferencing, you want to set up that group project, you have access to create a Zoom meeting, invite those, share the link out, so on and so forth. Last but not least is the remote computer access. This is really cool as well. So you click on that and you'll notice, if you look at the left-hand corner, you'll see all the different computer labs at the institution, both here and Skokie. So for giggles, let's take a look at my favorite lab, P155 lab in Skokie campus, the accounting. So if you're in that class, you'll now see that there are 4 computers available. Tom, why are there so little computers available? Probably because other people are actually using those terminals. So any open terminal you can connect into, and you'll be able to authenticate using your username and password that you use to get into MyOptin. Why is this important? It's going to snow 100 feet tomorrow. I'm making that up. But campus is closed, or it's hard for you. It's going to be hard for you to get onto campus. You need to finish a project. You know that software is on that computer. You can connect at home with internet access, do your work, and it's just like if you're coming out to campus. So that's a really valuable tool for you to sort of use and take advantage of during your time here at the institution. So that, in a nutshell, is the digital backpack. I did want to send you one other thing too. Academic assistance. You'll come down, and if you click on the Learning Center, you'll see information all about our how to make an appointment with us. If you come down to academic success and beyond workshops, when you click on that link, it'll take you to all of our different sessions. Let's see, the next one is going to be on using your syllabus to succeed on January 25th. You can copy to your Google Calendar by simply just clicking on that. Really simple. Get that onto your calendar. You'll see again where, when, how to connect to that Zoom link, and so on and so forth. So, yay. Just wanted to show you that real quick before I exit out of this. Did you have any questions related to the digital backpack? All right, if you think of something in a little bit, you can certainly come back. Let's re-engage the presentation. Pick you up, can you see that? So class. Let's put that. Plus one. All right, instruction types.
Okay, so moving on. Here at Oakton, we have some very different types of instruction options to fit your needs and what you need as a student and as a person. So most of us are familiar with in-person classes. Maybe that's familiar to what you've done in high school or other education settings. So that's coming to campus, Skokie or Des Plaines, coming into class, sitting in a chair, and being with fellow classmates and the professor or instructor. So that's option number one. We also have the type for online classes. Now, these classes are offered both live, like we are right now, synchronous, or anytime classes, which would be asynchronous, where the content is available to you, but you work at your own pace to get that work completed by certain deadlines. So we'll go into more depth about that in just a moment. And then we have a hybrid. So the last option is a mix of in-person and online anytime work. This might be more common with like a science class. You might have to come in for lab and do the lab in person physically, right? And then maybe the other types of instruction and content that you're going to be learning can be done online. So really when you pick classes and when you're reviewing before next week when classes start, just double check the type of class that you have registered for. And if you need to make changes, always talk to your advisor.
All right, so now you know what type of classes you are. What is it that you're going to need to do in those classes in order to be successful? So what I'm going to cover on these 6 areas are pretty much universal. They're for every class that we offer here at the institution, regardless of instructions. First and foremost, we really want you to start doing some pre-work. So in the next couple of days, if you log into d2l.oakton.edu, you should be able to see all of the shelves for the course or courses that you're enrolled in. Take a look. There's no harm in seeing what's coming next. And we want you to really get into that habit before each and every class that you're going to. What is it exactly that you're going to be focusing on in class? And a lot of that information can be explored and figured out through your D2L. The other thing we want you to consider is start writing a list of questions down, right? And this could happen before, during, or after your classes, but thinking, especially if it's before or during, write them down. They may get answered, they may not. But if there's still unanswered questions, that's a great opportunity for you to sort of reach out to that faculty member and ask for some more clarification, maybe on an assignment, maybe on a topic. Maybe something piqued your interest in terms of what they do or their past experiences. Shameless plug, later in the semester, I don't have our schedule in front of us, but I believe it's February 21st, we're going to do a session on how to talk to your faculty member. Again, so we sort of break down those walls of privilege and get you feeling really comfortable to approach your faculty members. Additional materials. So in your syllabus, you should see this is required. This textbook, this lab kit, software is needed, so on and so forth. What exactly is required? What's optional? If it's optional, do you really need it? How much are you going to be using of it? And are there any other alternative ways where I can maybe see that stuff? Perhaps that book is on reserve at the library, and you can find time throughout the week to get a hold of that, so on and so forth. So think about the additional materials. Again, you can't emphasize enough how important it is to have some type of web-enabled device. Do you have access to the internet? If so, making sure that that's pretty consistent, because again, You're gonna need to interact, even if it's an in-person class, you're gonna need to deal with stuff that's on the internet, whether it's paper submission, whether it's, using our library, again, shameless plug for an upcoming session,
Mhm.
on a virtual tour of the library, you name it, you'll need a web-enabled device. The other part of the puzzle here too is now you've done your pre-work, you've got some questions. Can you anticipate the next move? I just got done rewatching the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer. I love it. If you've never seen it before, it's about a young chess prodigy. Anyway, the whole point of chess is to anticipate not only the next move, but the next several moves in order to outmaneuver your opponents. Think about that for you in your class, is what is coming next? What do you think, based upon what you've seen before, the previous couple of weeks, what you kind of get a feel for? And that's going to help you sort of understand where to put your energies in terms of studying, collecting materials, so on and so forth. And then last but not least, in my Oakton, confirm, let's make sure all of your emails are correct. This mainly happens to people who maybe are coming from high school. They may have been using their district insert number here, or maybe you're using a work email and you've now transitioned from that job. You may no longer have access to that email. So let's confirm your email so you're getting all those timely communications. I see some stuff popping into the chat. Okay, no worries. Okay. It's a show that's a question. All right. So Mary Kate's gonna
Okay,
get down to
so
nitty gritty.
exactly, we're talking about different types of instruction and really just how to best be prepared. So your in-person courses, I would say one of the biggest things is to leave enough travel time to make it to campus. I know there has been closures at different entrances of the campus. There's been lots of construction. You could be behind a school bus. There could be, like Tom said, 100 feet of snow. So, well, we probably won't be here for that. But anyway, whatever it is, give yourself extra time, especially the first week, right? The parking lot's going to be packed. There's going to be this exciting buzz around campus. Definitely just take your time. Make sure you plan ahead to allow yourself enough time to travel to campus, to park, to enter the building, and to find your classroom. If you have time, before your class starts, maybe a day or two before, it's great to come onto campus. We're open. You can come see where your class is, maybe scope out your route, things like that. And also, you can always ask someone for help. So don't worry. The other thing is sometimes professors before your first class will have some outside work expected before that first day. So like Tom had mentioned, checking D2L, checking your Oakton email. They might ask you to read something or to send a little blurb about who you are, a little video message if you are an online student. So we'll get to that. But definitely attending class, making sure you're actually there. And if for some reason you're unable to attend, certainly reaching out to the professor, communicating with them, and just letting them know what's going on and going from there. It's also a good idea to do some goal setting, just like we did at the beginning of this presentation. So what is your goal for that course? What is it you're trying to achieve? What do you want to get out of the class, and be clear about that before you start that first session. Moving on to online, live, or anytime classes. So remember, this is all online classes. So whether it's live or anytime, really just make sure that you know the difference. Okay, that's going to be important. If the professor is taking attendance for a live class, meaning synchronous, and you're not there, you might lose participation points. So highlight, star, make sure you know the difference in your classes and specific weeks, what's required of you. We talked about access to computer and internet. If you need help, you know to reach out to Oakton. You can certainly use your cell phone if possible as a backup in an emergency if Wi-Fi is failing, something's not working out. Another important piece is to find a space with limited distractions. Ideally, especially if the class is live, a synchronous class, it would be great if you could have your camera on, show that you're engaged in the course. Those nonverbal communications can be really helpful to professors and other students. If you're not able to turn your camera on, that is understandable, but just try to find a space with limited distractions. Maybe that's a room, a basement, somewhere where the rest of your family may not be is usually a good start. So if you can find that, make that your, kind of school space that you can work and take class and also prepare for class. Lastly, allow time for reading. So if there is work that you need to do before or after class, build in some buffer time. So maybe you're not jetting off, to your job right after or to another commitment, if possible. Give yourself a little bit of extra time before class and after class. Lastly, your hybrid classes. All right, so ready to interact, meaning you are prepared. You've looked at your email, your D2L, you know what's to come in this class, and you feel like you can engage with your classmates and your instructor. We talked about knowing your syllabus, so knowing which classes are on campus, which classes are online. How do I know the difference? How am I going to keep it straight? We'll talk a little bit, I believe, in another presentation about calendars and staying organized as well. So we have some good tips for that. And of course, D2L is your friend. Use the Pulse app, right? So you can get those reminders, access it on your phone, and really know where you need to be and when.
Awesome. Again, as we mentioned before, it's not just the Learning Center. It's not just Trio who are here to help you. So we wanted to kind of walk through, at least from the onset, here are some opportunities for you to interact with other people and or departments on campus that are going to help you be successful. First and foremost, is going to be that faculty member in your class. A couple things. One is they're responsible for not only the content, but the delivery of the course, right? So if you have questions about structure or, what points of emphasis should you really place on in terms of studying in relation to the content, they're your first person that you need to go to because they've designed the class for you. So that's integral. In addition to that, IT help desk is invaluable. As Mary Kay was saying earlier, and when you look at the digital backpack, if you needed help downloading Microsoft Office 365 into your computer, that's a great opportunity to go see the help desk to have them walk you through that process. Now, in time, the help desk is going to be physically within our new learning commons, both in Skokie and in Displays. So again, that integrations can become even more succinct. But again, right now we have help desk located on the second floor in Skokie or down in the first floor, kind of towards the enrollment center in our Displays campus. Now, when we think about student success, there's several players that help you in this particular case. One, academic advising. When we think about the classes that we're enrolled in and the start of it, the number one question that a lot of students ask themselves is, why am I in this class? What is the purpose of me being in insert class here? That's where academic advising really comes in. How is this course applicable to that educational plan that you've just created? Or maybe your intention is to do that human resources certificate. This course is one of those in the steps towards completing. Whatever the case may be, when it comes to where does this fit, where can I go with this class, that's where academic advising is. In addition to that, you may be second day in class and your faculty member says something about a job opportunity or an industry, and you're like, well, I never really considered it. And you want to know more about it. Perfect. Career Transfer Center is where you're going to be able to get those pieces of information. Great news, starting on Tuesday, we'll have our new career coach, who's going to be a great asset for you to help ask some of those questions, right? I'm really excited about psychology. Where can I go with this? What can I do? So on and so forth. The Learning Center, obviously, we do a lot. For somebody mentioned Calc 2, most, if not all of our tutors can pretty much help in Calc 2, which is excellent. But again, we provide tutoring. We have a lot of course-based subject. We have writing tutors to help you on any graded assignment, help you with a personal statement, cover letter, scholarship essays, you name it, we're here to help you. The testing center is also here for your success. Again, you may miss a class and need to do a makeup. You probably already interacted with them somehow for taking placements, so on and so forth. And then Trio, if you do qualify, has all of those pieces that we just kind of mentioned rolled into one nice convenient package. So again, they take a very holistic approach to your success. And if you are lucky enough and can get into the Trio program, it's probably one of your best bets here for success. And then last but not least, our dear friends in the library. I can see them, where I can literally see their classroom right through this wall here. And again, as we move to create our new learning commons and establish a real academic hub on both campuses, the library is going to be important. But they can get you in contact with resources that are going to give you success in those classes.
Right. So we do have many more workshops to come. You can find this on our Trio site as well as our D2L. Tom's also posted it many places. We have flyers everywhere. So our next session is going to be on the 17th, which is next week. Strategies for a flexible learning environment. Woohoo! So for friends, classmates that didn't make it, please encourage them to come and join us. And then those of you that did come, our next new session, Tom had mentioned, is on the 25th, using your syllabus to succeed. And that's what we call a micro session, just 30 minutes.
Yeah, and then as you can kind of see throughout the rest of the semester, we've got, again, a library virtual walkthrough. So again, we'll go through all those resources. We're gonna on the 15th, we're gonna focus on using assessments for majors. So maybe you are a little confused on, what do you want to do with your life? We'll help you, give you some ideas to kind of put that into motion. As I mentioned, the 21st, we're going to talk about effective communication with professors. How do you initiate those communications as opposed to waiting for the professor to say something? We do a repeat of this session in late February for everybody who is enrolled in new classes or 8-week classes as well. And then we come back with a session on critical thinking, budgeting your study time, test taking strategies. Zotero and citations are all related to those of you who are in very heavy research-based courses. It'll help you kind of catalog all that information together. We'll be working with folks on how do you prepare yourself to transfer, which some of you are thinking about this semester. And then last but not least, we cap it off with our capstone, stress management and self-care, which is typically, if not our biggest session, one of our biggest sessions of this semester. We'll have folks from health and counseling come in and talk to you about some really practical ways for you to work through the stress as we approach the end of the semester. You can use it in your academic life, your professional life. So again, if you haven't, scan that QR code and you can sign in, or actually you'll see the workshops. Sorry. But other than that, that is our information. If you need to get a hold of us, again, hello, everybody viewing us on YouTube. If you have any questions for us about this presentation, please contact us either at the Learning Center or Trio at oakton.edu. Just reference ASB question and we'll be able to hopefully get you an answer. Sweet.
Any questions? Well, thank you all so much for coming. You're welcome to stay on. Any questions, but we appreciate your time and best of luck this next semester. Thank you.